Hello everybody. You can tell I am at my local dive bar and I'm working hard away at doing this husky dog. So you see how the progress is going. So looking very good. I'm actually very surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm just I really am enjoying how this is turning out. So I'm going to have this done very soon. Once I have this done, I'll be going back to doing that Star Wars piece. If you go back a couple, the beginning of the year, you'll see that. So I had so much fun on John's Long Box on Wednesday night. Now before I do that, if you look, you'll see that I did an unboxing video of Michael Barron and Pat Broderick's Bronze Star. And I'll tell you something, I really missed out on getting the black and white book. I really should have gotten that because the level of textures and line work that Pat Broderick has put into that piece is so good. It's just, I mean, it's just up my alley. And what I really like is how Pat is not, he's avoiding he's putting a lot of detail in and using like a lot of line work, kind of like the old like wood gravings, how like they used to do like that, or the clay gravings back in the 18th century. So yeah, it matches the era and feel of how books, the art was done when you saw newspapers and whatnot. So I really did enjoy. I'm really enjoying. I've read the first 20 pages. First 20 pages done a great job of setting everything up, establishing the characters, and so that when we get into the second chapter of the book, we can really get into the story of it and the conflict of the story and what Harley, our main character, has to go through. So. But no, I really enjoyed being on John's Long Box on Wednesday. I was just starting to come down with a cold. I was getting one of those 24-hour colds. And so just before the show, I took a bunch of medicine. So that way I was able to stem off. You could tell in the video I coughed a few times. So, but I really enjoyed it. It's so nice just to talk comics with someone, and how where we differ on some things, we still, our love for comics and respect and respecting each other, even though we have different opinions, our respect for each other as comic book fans is there, which is so refreshing these days. Like I said, when I was talking to him, I was like, I'm able to talk to him about stuff that I can't talk about to the employees at my local comic book store. When I go to my local comic book store, I walk in, I look at what's on the shelf, and I leave. I really don't talk to anybody there anymore because I know that they're going to disagree with the comments I might make. So it's just very refreshing. So, but yeah, it got me also is how I really got into giving him my origin story, my comic book origin story of showing off my initial collection, how I got into it, and why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as now making my own books. Like I said, how I found this space was from Graham, and how I was like so many people, not liking at all what was coming out from Marvel and DC and thinking it was me, and turns out it wasn't just me. I was the same as everybody else, and understanding even more now is why comic books are not doing well. So I just really enjoyed it, and I was nervous And so I know I got a little chatty at times, but that was another thing, a nice thing also about talking one-on-one, is that when you have a panel of a bunch of people, it's easy to inadvertently wanting to put your input on the conversation, to step over somebody's toes. And with being just the two of us, there was no stepping over everybody's toes. It was just a nice conversation. We fed off of each other when we were talking about subjects. Like I said, when he was going about his opinion about DC and the Silver Age books being so bad, and how I was like, well, yeah, and like giving my input is like why I felt why those books were so bad, being the fact that they were scared to death to try to draw attention to themselves after what happened with the 50s. So it was just really, I enjoyed it greatly. I would love to be on other shows like that, just talking comics. In fact, when I start doing live streams, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be pretty much doing what John's doing. I mean, I'll be picking a book and doing a flip through. I'll be wanting to have fans on, not necessarily creators. I'll definitely want to get creators on, get their 2 cents. In fact, I've already been thinking about, like, if I already have, if I was to have creators on, what I would talk to them about. And so how I'd have a conversation with a comic book pro would be different than how I'd have a conversation with a comic book fan. And I'd have a different approach, if you will. So, but I'm definitely going to be doing that eventually. Until then, these are the videos you're going to be getting in right now with my work schedule and everything. Because, like I said, when I was talking to John, how this isn't paying the bills. My regular job's paying the bills, and right now my regular jobs give me overtime. And so it's like during the week, I put in a lot of overtime in during the week. And then, so this is, even though I'm working on this artwork, this doesn't feel like work. This feels like fun. So that way I can just have some fun as opposed to working and being like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. So, but no, I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Marcus for sharing out the link to my channel. I hope more people will tune in and check me out. I appreciate you all. Please make sure that you are hitting that like button. Give me a comment. Share it out, and of course, subscribe. Subscribing always helps. But all those things, okay? Liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, they all help the channel. They help. Just putting a comment in saying thank you for the video, it helps the algorithm. I discovered from talking to Jason Bascom when I saw him at Baltimore this last year. He was telling me how having when you have your channel, a comment, any comment, and if you then respond back to that comment, it helps the algorithm to help pump it and help get it drawn and offered as a suggestion to other people. So the comments and everything, it all helps out. So thank you very much for it. I'm not going to be working too much longer on this because primarily one thing I wanted to talk about was being on John's long box. In fact, before I started this video, I rewatched it again with him, and it was fun. I mean, like I said, we were like how I discovered Marvel being primarily through the original Secret Wars event, and how I really became a DC fan because of DC doing the Who's Who in conjunction with the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was definitely, like I said, I still remember going through each, almost weekly or monthly, going through each issue of Who's Who after I've read the latest issue of the Crisis. The reason why is because each month you got a new issue of Who's Who, so I'd get that, and then, okay, I didn't know who this character was, but now we're in the G's. Okay, that's this black guy. He's called Gravedigger. Okay, so that's who this guy is. Okay, well, I don't know who this guy is. And 2 months later, we're into the I and J, and now I know who these guys are. So, yeah, because of Who's Who coming out the same time as Crisis, I ended up rereading Crisis multiple times. Plus, also, my collection wasn't that big. So, but that's one of the things that really made me a Who's fan. It's also the reason why before I do a comic book page layout now, I can't look at George's work anymore because he's so detailed and it influences me and how I do a page layout. So now when I do a page layout, or before I start a page layout, and even then when I'm drawing it, I gotta look at other artists. I gotta look at a lot of Joe Kubert, a lot of Will Eisner, a lot of Lee Weeks, the Kubert brothers. I gotta look at their stuff more, along with like Walt and John Buscema, just because their style of storytelling and rendering is more akin to being able for me to then show my strengths with stippling, as opposed to George Perez, which is ultra detailed and doesn't leave a lot of room for doing gradations like I can do like with this. How like you wouldn't do a lot of this with George Perez's work, where you would do this with other artists such as the ones I mentioned. So I just had a great time. So I hope you check it out, the video. It's John's Longsbox. I will do my best to include him in my description. Remember, Andy Smith has launched his sign-up page for Quartrath the Reckoning. This Wednesday, Graham Nolan is launching his Monster Island, Return to Monster Island. He's republishing it under the Compass Comics banner. So let me clean off this nib. So there you go. You can see where the bar is. So I'm in the dive bar, and you can hear it in the background. Al's behaving himself. Right just before I started this video, Al was going off on a tangent, but he must be done, and he's calmed down. So you can hear him in the background, but he's not really being too boisterous right now. So no, Graham's going to be launching that. And if you watch the interview he did with Mike Carlin this week, and he was talking about about TVs and how Graham's like, how Julie's telling Graham that a 55-inch TV is perfectly good size, and he's like, it could be bigger. And I don't mean to say that didn't say like a whining, but he was kind of like, honey, we can get a bigger one, can't we? Graham, Miss Stippling, she has a 65-inch TV, and even the 65, she's like, I'd like to have bigger. So trust me, Graham, you definitely want to get yourself, if you can, a bigger TV. I propose that when Graham launches this campaign, and when he launches the Joe Frankenstein campaign, and then when he launches the Escape from Monster Island, okay? If I say we have a little fun with this, And if Graham can get just one of those campaigns up to 250,000, Julia should let Graham get a bigger TV. I say we have it as the 65-inch 4K Graham stretch goal. That if he reaches 250,000, Julia gives him the permission to buy a bigger TV. What do you guys think? Do you think we can have some fun with that? If at the very least, we'll be providing Graham with content, humorous content for his campaign. We get stickers, we get bookmarks, we get this as a stretch goal, we get that stretch goal. If Graham hits a quarter million, his reward is he gets a bigger TV. I don't know. I like that idea. Keep it humorous, keep it fun. So if he succeeds or if he fails, we'll have fun with it. And that's a lot of times what matters. So guys, I'm wrapping it up here. So you guys have a great day. I'm going to be working on this, and I'll be working on another piece, secret piece for Valentine's Day. So, but until then, guys, remember, life is stressful. Just take it all one dot at a time.